Hey guys, it's Jaggle. Welcome back to the channel and thank you for stopping by. Today I wanted to make a real quick video in response to some comments I've seen on some of my other videos asking about my user interface. So I'm gonna go ahead and just run through like a couple UI quality of life things that I like to have set up and show you guys what I got going on. So let's check it out. So the first thing that I want to talk about is we're gonna go ahead and go to the bottom right of our screen and click the little 14 button, and we're gonna go to system configuration. You can also open this menu by pressing Control K on your keyboard. Once we have this menu open, we're gonna go down to theme settings, and what this is gonna do is it's gonna allow us to change the actual theme of the window. So this is your default UI, which you guys will see when you first log into the game, and then there's also a light theme, and then classic mode, which is what I have it set to right now. The next thing that I really want to talk about that I feel like is huge for UI is inventory. When you open your default inventory panel, you can see it's split up between several pages, and you got to kind of scroll through. I'm not so much a huge fan of that, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go back into our system configuration, and we are going to go to character config, which is the K key on your keyboard is a shortcut to open this as well. And we are going to go to item settings, and then at the very top here we're going to see under inventory settings, inventory interface, we're going to go ahead and change that to expanded. And then we're going to change retainer inventory interface to expanded as well, so your inventory in your retainers looks the same. Another thing that I also really like to do is by default this box here is going to be ticked, and it says store all newly obtained items in the armory chest. I like to make sure to uncheck that. Reason being is because I feel like my armory chest gets filled super fast whenever I have this ticked, and I feel like my inventory management is a lot easier to get by whenever I have the expanded on. So let's go ahead and apply that, and now you can see much better. 2 pages of inventory, everything's still easy to see. I feel like this is the move for that. Okay. So next thing we're going to talk about is boss health percentage. This is obviously really important. So again, we're going to open our character configuration menu via the K key on our keyboard. Once we have this menu open, we're going to go to UI settings on the left here. We're going to click HUD at the top, and we're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom, and we are going to select display targets remaining HP percentage. This will allow us to actually see like what a boss's percentage at. It's really good if you're progressing and you need to see like how close you are to meeting a DPS check or an rage timer. So that's going to be imperative. The next thing I want to talk about is what's going on with the rest of the UI here. As you can see, it's pretty awful. Our job gauge is like way up here to the top right of the screen with our quests. The bars are really big and kind of pushed to the bottom. There's only 2 of them displayed. So we're gonna go ahead and go into system here and do HUD layout. Now what this is gonna do is it's gonna let us completely customize our UI pretty much however we want it. Now if you play with the controller, you'll be working with your cross hotbar. If you do not, you'll be working with the other hotbars. I don't play with controller, so I like to kind of just move this guy out of the way, and then we'll start working with our other hotbars. So for me, typically I like to kind of just get myself a little bit of space to work with, so I'll move some stuff out of the way. I definitely want to rearrange these bars, so what I typically like to do is to bring them up a little bit so they're not all the way at the bottom of my screen and I can see them easier when I'm actually in combat. Then we'll go ahead and grab bar 3, and we're going to add another bar. Now how we're going to do that is once we have our bars selected here, we look at our HUD layout menu. I'm going to click on this little cogwheel under UI element settings. This is going to allow us to adjust a few things. So we can actually click here to make sure that that element is going to be displayed. We can also change what that element looks like, so we can make it like a stack, or we can make it, you know, a 2x6, a vertical 1x12, a 3x4. So you can really get crazy with this stuff and kind of go as hard as you want with what you want it to look like. You can also add transparency and adjust the size. I like them a bit smaller, so they take up less space on my screen, but that's just me. So we're gonna go ahead and rearrange these guys a little bit here. I also like to have my my progress bar, my spellcast bar somewhere that it's easy to see. Alright, so there you can see we've got some changes to the HUD there. It's looking a lot better already. I definitely like having the map down here closer to my eyes as well, because whenever you're in a raid and you have markers and directional callouts, it's really useful. But I'm gonna go ahead and also show you guys what like my HUD looks like. This is my actual HUD that I use here. As you can see, I have my stuff shrunk down a lot and kind of all pushed into the center of my screen, because I want to have as much visual clarity around my screen as I can, but I also need to see all the important information, like where my cooldowns, health, buff, debuffs, and boss are at. So I hope this was helpful to you guys and kind of seeing how to work your UI, and maybe it makes some nice little quality of life improvements for you. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you for coming by, and don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It helps me a ton and really supports the channel, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.